Hey guys, I'm Jackie Brubaker, host of the Love You Even More podcast. I'm an author, marriage and family therapist in training, performer, and 2-time Emmy Award winner. Each week, I bring on people from all walks of life to talk to them about their inspiring stories in the fields of self-development, relationships, business, and how you can love yourself even more. For more about me and the podcast, visit us at loveyouevenmore.com. Hey guys, and welcome to the Love You Even More podcast. I'm your host, Jackie Brubaker, and today I want to talk about winning. I want to talk about what it feels like to win in life and what that actually means to win and what winning means to each of us. So recently the Oscars just happened, and I did a post on being an artist and getting recognized for your work via winning awards, such as an Oscar or a Golden Globe or an Emmy or, some big accomplishment within the arts. And while that's really wonderful to achieve, and I have actually achieved that in my professional life, I've won 2 Emmys, which I'm very proud of. I want to really just talk about how that doesn't make you feel better then. Because as artists, and this really is a podcast for artists today, like this episode is for my artists, but you don't even have to be an artist to feel this way. Making art for art's sake can feel really good, and it can make your soul sing. And when you're an artist, you just have to create. And when artists don't create, that's when they get not good. That's when depression occurs, anxiety occurs, mental health stuff starts to occur because they're not creating art. And when we get wrapped up in this idea of, well, I need to create art so that I can make money or become famous or be well known, even in my industry, that's an expectation that is very normal, especially if you live in LA or New York, but it's a really common feeling of if I'm going to create art, I want to be paid for it and I want to be successful for it. But the truth of the matter is that most artists do not become famous. They don't always get paid for their work. And a lot of artists never let their art see the light of day. And so when I was thinking about the Oscars, and I was thinking about award season, because that's a big deal here in LA. We're all very in tune with award season because most of us are in entertainment, or a lot of us are, and you pay attention to who's winning. And so, of course, being the musical theater artist that I am, I was like, Wicked's gonna just win everything. And it got snubbed. I don't know if y'all noticed, it got real snubbed. And for all of my musical theater people, I think we were all like, what? How did that happen? And also my entertainment people, how did that happen? And it broke my heart for the people that worked on Wicked who did not win. The director wasn't even nominated, which is crazy to me. And how you could create this monster of a piece of art, such as Wicked, this movie, not just 1, but 2, because part 2 is coming out this year. And to get so snubbed for it. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're hoping the second movie will do better and they'll win a bunch of awards there. I doubt it. But, how could we create something so fantastic like this and then get snubbed and not win for it? And how easy it would be to just be well, I guess it wasn't good enough. Because that's what people feel when they don't win, whether it's an award or it's being known for your art or making money for your art. We feel like we're not good enough. And that's why this is a podcast episode for almost anybody. But when you're an artist, it's so personal. It is truly your baby that you're creating and you're putting out into the world saying, please like my baby. Please like me. I created this. I put multiple hours of my life into creating this, years even. And when we don't get the validation that we want, and also we see other people getting it that maybe in your opinions don't deserve it, it's confusing and it's disheartening. And it's hard to just understand theoretically, like, how can this be happening? So when we're in that state and we're just like, what's the point? It doesn't matter. I don't know why, God, the universe gave me these gifts. Why? Why? If I'm not going to use them? Why have these gifts if I'm not going to be well known for them? Why have these gifts if I'm not going to make money from them or just be that thing that I just want to be full time? Because honestly, most artists are not artists full time. There's something else and they're artists at the same time. And also, this is a very interesting fact. Most people who are artists who have a day job and then come home and on the weekends do their art, create more art than people who are just full-time artists in general. They make more art with the limited amount of time they have than people who have all the time in the world. And myself included, I've heard so many artists say, oh, if I could just do my art full time, I would be so happy. I would get so much done. I'd be so much more accomplished. And that's not true. It's just not true because it becomes a job no matter what. Artists, that is still a job. So when you're not winning for something that you've created, in whichever context you want to put the winning as money, awards, recognition, what do? Are you not an artist? Are you not a good enough artist? I'm sure there's a story in your head saying, yeah, that's right. I'm not good enough because my parents said that I never should be an artist and that I would never make money. And oh, they were right and I was wrong. So I should just stop and get a real job. Actually, you should have a real job. Like I just mentioned, it makes you create more art. So yes, actually, don't starve for your art. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. And when you're at your little day job, your survival job, or, maybe like myself, my day job is great. I have a really great day job that I love. I love becoming a therapist. I love being a therapist. And I say becoming because I'm still interning. So I am a therapist. I'm just a new therapist. I really love what I do. And there's also that beautiful balance of loving one thing and your art. You can be both. And I will say from personal experience, that is a hard thing to be okay with. Because when you're an artist and you love what you do art-wise, that's all you want to do. But like I just said, every artist that is a full-time artist, maybe you're in a show full-time right now, that's still your job and it's still hard and you're still working with people you might not like. You're still wanting to go home because you're tired. You're wanting to like have more freedom because you're like, now I'm on the show and it's like so long and so many hours and I'm just exhausted and I just want to go home. We always kind of want what we can't have, right? It's like, and then we get what we want. We're like, oh, okay, well, this is great too. But also, you may really love the art of your artness, but it is always going to be a job no matter what. So I think to keep this short and sweet, because it really is so much more about making art for yourself. I mean, Picasso's a really perfect example. I always am just like shocked that Picasso didn't live hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I always feel like he lived like 400 years ago, but he didn't. He lived in the 21st century. It's crazy to me. And he was not famous the whole time. He was not famous. I'm sure you knew that, but for those of you who are just finding out, that's the truth. Not famous. Did not make money. He became famous and made money after he died. Now, mind you, let's not go die to be artists, okay? Let's not do that. But it just goes to show you that people might not get your thing. They might not get your art yet. You may be way ahead of your time, and we see that a lot. There's a lot of artists that were like, not that famous in the 80s, but now we look back at them and they're influencing so much of what's happening now. So you have to try to be strong enough in your art and what you're making and your convictions of what kind of art you're making for you and your vision, so that it doesn't matter if you're not paid for it. It doesn't matter if people don't get it. You could be ahead of your time. But besides that sort of lofty fantasy, which could be true or not true, you have to do it for your soul and your heart. Because people who are not creative, when, not creating when they're creative, are not happy people. And you don't want to spend the rest of your life being unhappy because, well, I make my art, nobody buys it. Who cares? Or I'm an actor, I keep auditioning, I can't book. I'm not booking. I gave the best performance or the best audition of my life. And actually, true story. I did. I went out for Wicked just a few months ago for the North and South America, North and South America, whatever, touring cast, the Northern touring cast. I killed it. Best audition of my entire life. I killed it. Not only did I kill it, I knew the accompanist. So like I already felt like I was in with the production. And I was like talking to the casting director as if we were like old friends. And he was not like, he was there for it. He wasn't like, okay, weirdo. He was cool. It was an amazing audition. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get a call back. Did I? No. You know why? Because they had probably cast Glinda. And that's fine. And sometimes we don't book because there are things going on beyond our understanding, beyond our knowing, that it's not about you. It is about what is already happening. Now, does that mean that I should just give up and be like, well, if I can't get a call back on my best audition of my life, like, what's the point? Sure, I could absolutely let that story be the story that runs in my head. But instead, recently, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I really want to do more musical theater. I'm not booking the way that I'd like to. Maybe I just create my own shows. And ironically, that's kind of what I've done my whole life. I've always created my own opportunities. And that way, you get to be creative and you get to do what you love, and people show up or they don't, but you still did it. And at the end of the day, you can be like, I still made my art and I loved what I did. And if I'm the only one clapping for me, so be it. Because honestly, you should care that much about yourself. You should be like, I am going to clap for me. Unless you really did shitty work, but most likely you didn't. So finding your own opportunities, making your own opportunities, make the space for your art to exist. Artists who create, gallery type art like sculpture, painting, even performance arts, right? They have to go find their gallery to be in. The gallery doesn't usually approach them. It's them. They have to say, I have a show. Let me go find a space to put my show in with all of my new art. They're literally creating their own show. So in this world where entertainment is in such a different place than it's ever been, it is the Wild West. We have to be the artists who are not only the artists, but we are the producers of our art. And you have to go and make art for art's sake and create the space for your art to exist. And then it exists. It exists whether you create a space for it or not. As long as you're creating a space in your life for it to exist, that is enough. But if you need more than that, go create the opportunity for your space, for your art to exist. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I would love to just be the producer of my own life. In fact, I'm actually having Melinda Sia on very soon to talk about producing your own life. And she is a producer. We have an excellent episode. You'll love it. Also coming from another artist. So I hope that this makes sense. And I hope this helps, because there are too many people who are so talented who we may never, ever hear of, that they need to be moving their art out of their house and out into the world. You need to be moving your art out into the world, even if it just means putting it up on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Like, Just get yourself out there and present your art. I think TikTok's a wonderful example of people who are in their own homes, putting themselves out there and then having this huge following occur. Like, even if it's not a huge following, people are watching, they're looking at what you've created. It's amazing. It's amazing how connected we can be. I think it's incredible that my podcast reaches all over the world. Like, oh my God, people in Asia are listening to me on a weekly basis. Hey guys, and thank you so much for listenership. And it's amazing. It's incredible to me. We think that we live in this little vacuum where, oh, nobody knows, nobody's listening, nobody's watching. No, people are watching. You just have to be more decisive of getting your stuff out there. So you've got to make your art. That's it. And you're the one who gets to determine whether it's good or not. But you know what? I bet it's probably good. Don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, that's another thing with artists, right? Like, we can be so hard on ourselves. But I will tell you this. This is something I've done for a very long time with every piece of art that I make. And when I say piece of art, I mean my books. I mean the songs that I put out, anything creative that I put out. I do it the best that I can, and I put it out there, and that's it. And that is what the art looks like and is in that space and time. I can come back years later and be like, oh, I could have done that differently or better. But you know what? I wasn't the person in the future making that art. I'm the person right now making the art. You're the person you are in this moment of your life creating that art. And that's what makes it so special. And that's why only you can make what you make. You can only do what you can do. And copying people and trying to be on trend, unless you're like a writer for hire, that's fine. But if it's your own stuff, just make your own stuff the way that you like it. I could even just go by like decorating your house. That's like such an art form right there. Like decorating your own house to like the way that you want it to look. And just being like, yeah, that makes me happy. That is art. Interior design, it's art. So again, I hope this helps. I hope that today you go and keep working on the project you're working on, the art piece that you're working on. I hope that it inspires you to start working on something new if you want to start working on something new. I hope that it inspires you to take something that's completed and put it out there. There's so many ways to get your art out these days. And no one is like a gatekeeper of this anymore. That's the beautiful thing. There are no more gatekeepers. I mean, you could be a filmmaker and be like, well, I really need my films to be made by like a major, studio. I mean, sure, of course, that's like the old paradigm. Of course you want that. But you could also go ahead and like independently produce your own film. And it doesn't need to be millions of dollars. It can be whatever it needs to be. Okay. I hope this is good. I liked talking about it. I hope this resonates with you guys. Really hope it resonates from my artists, because that is what definitely, drives my life. My life is driven by helping others and by creating art, and that will never, ever stop. So I'm here for my artists. If this impacted you, please reach out on the Love You Even More podcast Instagram. Tell me what you think about this. Write a comment on one of the posts. Let me know. Keep in touch, and I will see you next week.